of loved ones. I invite you to listen to these lyrical brushstrokes, which are intended to create an abstract painting of Darnley Nathaniel. He lived passionately. His life captured the style of a descant. A higher than normal pitch manifested in his life's chant, making his display of love either a luxurious decoration or an emotional rant. Some would want to improvise this above his smooth melody, but they can't, because the florid strains of his last footprints no one can recant. He worked passionately. The buildings Darnley worked on were excellent works of art. The stamp of admirable talent was upon them from the start. In every task one could see that in it he put his heart, exuding an inner work ethic that surpassed just being smart. His work, his exceptional building skill, formed a dynamic dart that struck the chord of top class and ripped the idea of mediocre apart. He danced passionately. The gifted steps of Maggie Squares often brought admirable stares, or open mouths, thunderous applause, and loud, boisterous cheers. Confidently and expressly, Darnley showcased his dancing flair. On cue with the music, his feet were the perfect pair. His fluent moves would take your breath, yet become a breath of fresh air. Such talent was outstanding and shone with brilliance rare. He loved passionately. Darnley's love style was always to shield and protect, so his loved ones you would never see him neglect. Though sometimes this love came like a torment, and the sheer jealous love gave him consent to strike with his hands and leave a dent, causing physical pain and emotional lament, because the words "I done" caused him great discontent. Those words would throw him in a fit of alarm, but though Darnley had the potential to harm, yet he was gentle and caring and warm, and held the ladies hostage by his winning charm. He built passionately. People build empires on investments and the business of making cash. Darnley built on his family, love, and that smile he would often flash. And although, because of his intensity, he and others would sometimes clash, his helplessness towards families and neighbors was as natural as when the waves splash. So since he died, families and friends have all stopped to rehash the wonderful, memorable moments that they have lovely stashed. He changed passionately. Darnley was a man of few words, yet he was an ace at sending out warnings with an intense haste. He could be impulsive, and for that people would brace, or choose not to cross his path and have Darnley to face. Even sometimes his own family could get a bitter taste of those moments that were darkened by his impetuous pace, like when his love of the bottle shattered glass all over the place. Yet this nature of a ferocious lion did not make him a waste, cause right on time, Darnley collided with God's amazing grace. He was born again passionately. It seems that after his massive stroke, a new Darnley Nathaniel husbands awoke, and with the same passion he lived before among folk, he lived for God, not taking it as a joke. As the bad streak in his character, the Holy Spirit broke. Saturday nights of having nobody, of which his popular dancing song spoke, was replaced by having a lover who aided his deliverance from sin's snaring yoke. So, Darnley did not go as he had once been. In those former days, he may have been jealous and mean, but from all that, he came clean. He made the switch in between. killing habits from which God helped him to wean. He became a loving husband for the rest of those days. Darnley never went back to his old ways. He ended dancing to a different tune, and knowing his dancing passion, we can confidently assume that the faithful will meet Darnley when Jesus comes again soon. Since Darnley knew God, I am sure he will dance and sing that death has no sting when God is enthroned as king. And once Darnley made God his habitation, I am sure his new musical rendition would be that physical death has no dominion. It can only form a shadow. Its span is narrow. Its depth is shallow. So though his life's daylight has faded into the setting sun, let's watch sunset's beautiful display on the horizon. It is God's brushstroke of peace that cannot be undone. And like Darnley, we can work it out and know for sure, without a doubt, that living passionately for God is what it's all about. Darnley's passion was a legacy worth reading out, and now it's time for me to bow out, leaving you with much to seriously think about. And if out of this you remember only one thing, let it be that death has no sting where God is enthroned as king. Thank you.